you ever wonder why people abuse their children? I'm going to tell you some reasons people harm their children. The information in this speech comes mainly from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services website. Many people abuse their children because they have health problems. Intrauterine growth restriction, which means the baby is born small, these babies tend to have longer cries. According to the writers that is intrauterine growth retardation a risk for child abuse? Compared with infants whose intrauterine growth was normal, the cries of infants with intrauterine growth retardation, or small infants, have a longer latency from stimulation to first cry, a higher pitch and less harmonic in signal, which means these babies tend to be a little more annoying. Also, with fetal immaturity, it causes issues with bonding. When babies are this small and have to be intubated and hooked up to IVs, they tend to have issues with bonding because they don't get to feel that closeness with mom when they're first born. Also, children under 3. These children are vulnerable, easily vulnerable. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states the rate of documented maltreatment is highest for children between birth and age 3. Also, children who are handicapped. The care for a handicapped child can sometimes be very overwhelming. Sometimes they're unable to verbalize what they need or unable to take care of some of their own needs, so their parents have to take more responsibility. Now that I've told you about children with health issues, I'm going to tell you about parents with a history of abuse. Parents with a history of abuse or who have been abused are at greater risk of abusing their own children. As you can see here, I have a photo of the cycle of abuse. When a parent has been abused, a child and then a grandchild can potentially go from this. So if you can stop one person, this can stop the entire cycle. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services research suggests at least 1/3 of all individuals who are maltreated as children will subject their children to maltreatment. Now that I've told you about the cycle of abuse, I'm going to tell you about the lack of parenting skills and how it relates to child abuse cases. The lack of parenting skills, such as this. Teen mothers. Teen moms tend to have a harder time raising children. They don't know what to do with them, or they have lack of skill. In addition to, in an evaluation of the group work intervention from teenage mothers and their families by Lynn McDonald, the author states children of adolescent mothers are, it is suggested, at greater risk of low birth weight infants, poverty, child abuse and neglect, and even death of their infants. Parenting classes are available in schools now so that these young women and inexperienced mothers can learn to take care of their children better. I have given you factors that increase the chances of child abuse. I hope to one day teach parenting classes, that way future parents know what to expect.
Slow, cat. Stop. Joker. Go behind her. Go behind.